Now we're going to do saddle. For those who already know saddle, just go right into it. If you've never done saddle before, let's first check to see if it's really available to you. Sitting in your heels like this, notice how your ankles feel. If there's any discomfort in the ankles right now, a couple of options: you could put a blanket underneath the ankles or a towel or folded towel, and that might just make it a little bit easier on the top of the feet, especially if you're on a hard floor. The top of the feet can feel quite uncomfortable here, so put some padding underneath. The second area to check is your knees. Now, this is a deep flexion of the knees, which can be quite healthy for the knees. But if you have knee issues, or if your thighs and calves are just so big you can't comfortably sit here, then put some blocks or cushions between your feet, sitting up a bit higher. And that may take some stress out of the knees. If the knees and the ankles are okay, the next stage is to lean back in your hands. So this starts to create a nice stress in the top of the thighs, into the front of the hips, so more extension here. And this might be it. This might be your saddle pose. If at any time this becomes too much, just come out and lie on your stomach and do Sphinx pose. Just lifting your chest up, resting on your elbows. Track 2 students may want to come back so they can rest onto a bolster. Now you might need to angle the bolster just to bring it a little closer towards your spine. And if you can be supported on a bolster, you can allow the arms to open to the side or open overhead, which may increase the sensation of stress along the front of the hips. The track 3 students, who just naturally are more flexible, doesn't mean they're nicer people. They're just more flexible people. They can come all the way to the floor. And again, if that happens, you can bring the arms overhead. Now in this shape, the knees might be off the floor a bit, and that's okay. That's just a little residual tightness in the top of the legs, your quadriceps here. As they loosen up, you might find the knees get a little lower and lower, but we don't really worry about that. What we're after is sensation. We don't care how the pose looks. What's important is how the pose feels. Now that we're in whatever version of the pose works for you, close your eyes